not being there, but we still wanted to present our street food documentary. So here we are to present our documentary. So our documentary is called Street Food, and we are the foodie detectives. We have Brian, Angela, Nea, and myself. And we're gonna start with the background research. How did we come up with this idea? So to start with, we met a first time, and we brainstormed, and came up with two ideas. The first one was the food trucks or street food. The second one was about how food shaped the culture. After this meeting, we searched individually. So we went on the internet and searched the ideas and which one was more feasible. Then on the second meeting, we grouped our idea and saw that the street food was a more interesting idea for us and more interesting trend, as well as it was more feasible, as there was a lot of street food festival happening in the French part of Switzerland. That's why we chose this topic. And now I'm going to let Brian talk about our storyboard.
Thank you. So for this revise the storyboard, we begin with the first scene speaking about the history of food truck, and we will use footage and pictures from the internet with a voiceover of our lovely Alessandra, and we will explain how it started and the trend in general. For the scene number 2, we will introduce you quickly Lausanne as a city of Switzerland. And for that, we will use as well footage from the internet showing Lausanne from an aerial point of view. For the scene number 3, we will make the introduction of the documentary itself, still with Alessandra, with directly footage from the festival that we took on spot, and we will finish this scene with the opening credits. If we go to scene 4, we will see the first interview, which will be the organizer of the festival. And for that, we used the footage, of course, that we did on spot in the festival with the interview of the organizer and a light background music. For scene number 5, we will use first a little transition between the two scenes to mark a change. And we will interview the different street food vendors, so the 6 of them. And for that, we will use the footage, of course, that we had from the festival, with still some background music. From the scene number 6, we will interview the guests of the festival. We had the chance to be able to interrogate 3 of them, so you will be able to see the answer and the point of view on the festival, with as well background music. And from the scene number 7 will be our closing scene. You will have on it our conclusion, what is our findings, what do we think about this festival, and it has been as well a footage from the festival. So now I let Angela speaking for the pre-filming part.
So for the pre-filming part, first we searched for the street vendors who attended the Lausanne Street Food Festival, and after we searched it on Facebook, and then we found their contacts, and then we emailed them to ask their permission whether or not we could interview them during the day of the festival. After that, we prepared a set of questions for interview, like for example, how long have you been working in doing the street food festival, or do you have any other job outside this street food festival? And then we prepared our video and our audio recording devices with our iPads and mobile phones. Next is during the filming day. We arrived at Lausanne Street Food Festival, but the weather was not really nice, but we could still manage to do the interviews. And then we shoot all the situation of the festival itself, and then we shoot the people who's working there, how they cook and everything. And then after that, we try the food for sure, and it was really, really good. And then we interview the organizer, the vendors, and the guests. The next is post-filming. After all the interviews, we met again one more time to not one more time, but we met a couple of times to edit the video and the audio, and then we followed the storyboard to keep to the original plan. However, we modified a little bit, like as Brian have mentioned before. And now continue to challenges with Neha.
Great. So for the challenges on the day of the Street Food Festival, Well, before the Street Food Festival, when we tried to interview, to email the people to ask them for an interview, we had some of the vendors decline us, and on the day, we also had some of the guests decline the interviews. Also, the weather was raining, so the weather was pretty poor because it was raining, and so that way we weren't able to feel the real sort of vibe from the Street Food Festival with lots of people and being full. So we couldn't really get that aspect of it, but we ended up getting quite good video shots from the Street Food Festival, even though it was raining. Another internal challenge that we had was matching the audio and the video recordings. On the day, we took audio and video recordings of the interviews so that we could make sure that the video recordings and the audio recordings were to the top quality. And so matching them was a bit difficult, but we ended up getting there. And on the day also, some of the street food vendors were too busy for interviews, so that was a shame.
Well, that's the end of our presentation.
Yes.
And please enjoy the documentary.
Documentary.
Bye!